and I hope you're having a great day. Um, yeah, glad to be here. I hope everyone is doing well, and just wanted to come on and talk to you all about some things that have been popping up over the internet when it comes to Wanda and also Doctor Strange too. So before I get started, let me just check the stream, make sure that uh, you guys can hear me really good. You know what I mean? Let me see. Zen Multiverse. So just checking it out. Yeah, we're good. All right, team. So over there, throughout the internet, there's been a lot of I wouldn't even say I want to say rumors, but they're coming from a credible source. So um, before we hop into that, I just want you all to think about who do you think Wanda would fight in the MCU, but who do you think she would fight in terms of going against the Foxverse, right? Just think about that for a second. But with that being said, uh, let's um, let's hit that intro.
You will never amount to anything. We shall see, brother. 友人の剣をくらえ
All right, bringing it back. So yeah, so over the internet, there's been a lot of rumors and just a lot of tidbits and things of that nature that Wanda will be going against someone from the Foxverse, right, through Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. So the question is who, right? So just in case you're wondering, like, who is Wanda, right, and what's her significance, right? Let's just take a gander at Wanda herself, right? So this is Wanda in her entirety. This is when she actually became the Scarlet Witch at the end of WandaVision, right? But just to give us a little bit more information on where this is coming from in terms of she's going against the Fox, someone from the Foxverse itself is coming from a tweet from Daniel Richmond. And Daniel Richmond isn't a person who you take his words lightly, right? He's not only an influencer, he's someone who has just really insight when it comes to access and knowledge. He knows people who knows people who knows people, right? So in his tweet, he says, in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda will fight someone from the Foxverse. I'm not allowed to reveal who it is, but could top this fight, right? And the fight that he's speaking about is when the Avengers or the Avengers who are out in space were going against the Mad Titan, right? AKA Thanos. So the question is, who could it be, right? I have some theories on who I think would go against Wanda, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm just gonna freeze for a second. I've been saying this for a long time, right? If those of you who watch my videos know that I always been theorizing that in Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, we're gonna see glimpses into the Foxverse or mutants themselves. It could be a small cameo, it could not be, right? But now we're starting to get more information that Wanda will go against someone from the Foxverse, right? And I'm pretty excited because a lot of my theories that I theorized, right, for a really long time seem to be either getting mass spread or coming to fruition. Not saying that my theories are mass spreading, but just the idea itself, right? That this is a possibility that um, is coming closer to reality, right? So let's look at some of the characters that I think could be. First one I think is gonna be the Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix is a character that, if for lack of better words, a lot of people didn't truly like Dark Phoenix, and they were like, "Oh man, it was absolutely hard and horrible," right? I, for one, thought it was okay, right? And that could be because of Hans Zimmer and his music. But the Phoenix is one character that I think transcends the possibilities of the multiverse, and it's only because of the Phoenix, right? In the comic books, correct me if I'm wrong, there is only one Phoenix, of the crown, right? There's only one Phoenix, so there isn't a multiverse of different Phoenixes, right? Um, Now, the facsimiles of the Phoenix can spread out, but there's only one Phoenix, right? The reason why I said facsimiles is because if we look at specific comic books when it comes to X-Men versus the Avengers, it did split into the Phoenix Five, right? But just going back to the possibilities of movies, they might go a different route, right? That the Phoenix may be a multi-universal entity that sees something that needs to be corrected, right? And that something could be what Wanda is doing, right? Wanda and even Doctor Strange, right? Um, Again, now going back to the end of Dark Phoenix, we saw at the end of Dark Phoenix that Jean essentially became the Phoenix, right? It was a complete merger, right? It was almost as if, like in the comic book, she became the Phoenix of the White Crown, right? Um, so the ultimate version of the Phoenix, where the two are hand in hand, and Jean Grey or whoever becomes the White Phoenix has full access and full totality of her abilities, right? So the question arises: is that the person that we're going to see, right? Now, I know the title of this video doesn't lend itself to what I said, but I do think that we have a high possibility of getting the Phoenix as a Foxverse character that we may see. Now, this character in herself, forgot her name. Let me look up her name real quick. Just because I want to make sure to give credit to the character. She's a young character. She's a young actor, right? A young actress that I could see um, being in future movies for a long time, right? So if Scarlet Witch does go against this character, I think it's good plot for them to bring someone who may have transcended where they were in the moment. And in again in Dark Phoenix, um, she transcends that. Milo man, what's going on? Appreciate you, bro, for coming to hang a little bit. So I'm just talking about, well, basically, there's a lot of rumors and there's tweets about Wanda going against someone from the Foxverse. So I'm giving my theories on who that could be. My first one is the Phoenix, right? I think it could be the Phoenix. Seems to be a logical, or at least in my head at the given time, seems to be a logical character that the Phoenix will go against, that Wanda will go against, in the sense of a multiverse of madness, because the Phoenix is an entity that is in between life, is basically all about life, right? Um, Life and rebirth, right? So thinking about Wanda and her wanting to get the her kids at the end of WandaVision, right? And she basically hears something, right? And she hears her kids, the kids that she created at the end of WandaVision. But I could see her basically saying like, "Hey, I'll do anything that I can do to make sure I get my kids back," right? And we know this is true because at the end of WandaVision, right, we see her reading the Darkhold, right? And the Darkhold is like you jumping into literal the chaos magic, right? Um, and yeah, I could definitely see her going against Wanda. I mean, not Wanda, but the Phoenix, right? As a possibility, if it is true. Again, those of you who are just jumping on, it seems as if Daniel Richman has released some information. He just tweeted something, and but it's going crazy, right? Since the 25th of August, and in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda will fight someone from the Foxverse. I'm not allowed to reveal who it is, but could top this fight, and that's the one below, right? Spawn stomps Wanda, lol. But what do you think? Um, I mean, Wanda is a character that's a wild card, right? And I think that's why she's so significant. Sophie Turner is the character. I didn't even look for it. I just remembered her name. So Sophie Turner is that character that I think would be the Phoenix. But um, again, I that's the thing about Wanda, is that she's a wild card. Her powers are unbounded, and she fully doesn't understand her powers, right? So if it's not the Scarlet Witch, I have another character that I don't really think it makes sense, and only because they define parents for Wanda. But I think um, from a mass, right? People want to see this, right? People want to see Wanda go against Magneto, right? Uh, if they were to ever have Magneto pop up from the Foxverse in the Multiverse of Madness through the process of a portal, and just like they basically just go into a different world and was like, hey, you're there, I'm here, get out my way. And then Magneto's like, no, I'm gonna fight you, basically. um I can see it happening, right? The reason why I'm starting to see more possibilities of these things happening is because we already saw the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer we saw some Fox characters there, right? So the multiverse seems to be going awry, right? For lack of better words. Andy, I appreciate you, my man. Thanks for coming in, dropping a like, and spreading the good vibes. You know what I mean? So yeah, um, I think my strongest thought is that the Phoenix. We'll see the Phoenix. But here's another thought that I had, that someone may be introduced for the purpose of introducing someone else at a later time, and that character is the Silver Surfer. So you might say the Silver Surfers, and like, what are you? Well, you're going crazy thinking about these characters. Now, I think the Silver Surfer is a plausible character that may be introduced to fight off against Wanda, but not defeated or not to defeat, right? And what I mean by that is that Wanda is not going to defeat the Silver Surfer, and the Silver Surfer is not going to defeat Wanda, but they're going to go at a stalemate, right? Where the Silver Surfer is basically like, you doing what you're doing is you're leaking energy right now, right? And if you don't stop, someone is coming. I came to investigate this planet, right? To see where all this energy is coming from, because when you think about everything, you could think about Thanos, right, using the Infinity Stones, and then the rest of the Hulk using the snap, right? We already know the Eternals are coming for the um they're not coming. They've always been on Earth, but something is brewing because of the snaps, right? Now, there's basically what I'm saying is that Earth is an attraction right now, right? And I could see that from WandaVision, the snap, the couple of snaps, right? That the Silver Surfer potentially can transverse the multiverse, right? And basically say like, hey, if you guys don't chill, someone's coming, right? And that someone is going to be Galactus. And then they're like, who's Galactus, right? And then he explains, and then he's like, you know what? Whatever, I'm out. And then he leaves. Of course, the dialogue won't be as bland as that, but something, of course, intriguing, right? And more exciting that I could see. But those are my kind of picks for who I think could end up, if this is true, right? If this is true. We don't know. Maybe that tweet is all it is, a tweet, right? Some people were saying that she might go against Hugh Jackman and the Wolverine, and that's something that was already put in place. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we're not gonna see Wolverine. Would it be cool if we see Wolverine? Yeah. But I think if it's not going to be any of the characters that I said, I do think it's going to be a really small character too, right? Like Scarlet Witch goes against, like, I don't know, someone who we thought is not even on her level, right? But I think a psychic character is a good pick. I think so. A psychic character with unbounded, limitless potential, which comes in the form of Jean Grey. I don't know. It's just a theory based on all this buzz about Wanda going against someone from the Foxverse in Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, again, I'm gonna say it again. I already said that Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness is the perfect segue to open up the doorway to multiple venues, right? To bringing in mutants, right? One of my theories, and if it's starting to go left a little bit, but I still think my theory is plausible more and more every day. That in the multiverse of madness, they're gonna see multiple multiverses in the form of like um, just images and portals and things of that nature, and they're gonna notice that the multiverse is very vast, and you might just see a quick snippet of someone utilizing their powers, but that someone who's utilizing their powers is very reminiscent to what comic book readers have seen in the comic books, right? It could be a young red-haired little girl who is reading the mind of someone in school, or even lifting up something using telekinesis. Or it could be someone who is in a plane crash, right? And he comes out, and his optic blasts are just being just like emerging on a full stream, but he can't turn it off, right? Um, there's so many different ways that they could show this, right? But another way that they could go about everything that I'm starting to think is my other theory was about the convergence, right? A convergence of like multiple worlds, right? Because I think after this whole multiverse thing is finished, that we're gonna get a singular verse, right? Where everything collapses into each other, right? And everything is not fixed to its originality, but everything is combined in a way, right? The reason why I know that things can't be fixed is because you have to think about the grand the grand motive and the grand efficacy of the multiverse and time, right? Because in Loki, right, Loki basically did a couple things, right? It split the multiverse, but remember that the multiverse was splitting at different different time points within the timeline itself, right, of the multiverse, which really means that begs the question that past events have changed, split off, and then there's one continuity, which would be what we have, right? But we can now say that um, one varying um, part of the multiverse is the X-Men or the Foxverse, right? It could be the one that's closest to the main timeline time stream, right? Or something of the nature. There's so many ways that they could go about it. And I think eventually what's going to happen is that everything is going to merge together. They're going to merge everything. The reason why I talk about the kind of like the hero's philosophy or the efficacy in this is because they're not just going to erase everything, right? Because that means all those past timelines that diverged and created those variant timelines, right, for lack of better words, are basically they have their own people, right, who have lived their lives. So eventually what's going to happen is that those that split off, they're going to squish them into one big timeline. Again, this is a theory where they merge Earths together, right? Think about many worlds theory. Many worlds theory states for every decision that you make, there's a world out there. But instead, they just squish all the Earths together, right? Make a singular one. And then that's when we have a continuity where we have the X-Men characters again, or we have one where the X-Men characters go against the Fox characters. I mean, the X-Men characters go against the MCU characters, right? And eventually they have their a merger happening, and that merger comes in the form of the Earths combining after the fight. Maybe. Not a ball man. What's going on, my man? Hope you're doing good. Just checking it out. I'm just here theorizing um, about Doctor Strange fighting the Phoenix, but also other characters that I'm theorizing it could be, right. Again, the first one was the Phoenix, just because the Phoenix is an entity, right? I'm not saying that the that Wanda will directly go against Sophie Turner, right, who played the Phoenix, right, in this quick picture right here. But I do think Wanda's abilities will summon, right, indirectly summon the Phoenix, and the Phoenix will come and say like, "Hey, what are you doing? Or even an entity, right? It might be Sophie Turner, since they're saying it's from the Foxverse, based on these rumors and the tweet, right? That it could be Sophie Turner, right? Coming back because again, at the end of Dark Phoenix, right? Um, she became part and partial to the Phoenix, right? It wasn't that the Phoenix inhabited her, it was she became the Phoenix, right? So my second thought is basically gonna be Magneto, right? How they find a inquisitive and emotional provoking way to include Magneto, I'm not too sure how they're gonna figure that out because uh, it's already been confirmed in the movies that Wanda has parents, unless they say that she doesn't have parents. And then the question begs, well, would Magneto even know her since they're from two different universes, right? And how would that even like change his opinion on things, right? He might just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna fight you because you're in my way, and it seems like you're coming into our universe, so Magneto, right? Magneto abilities go." So I don't know. My last thought and thinking is that Silver Surfer, right? Silver Surfer might be a character that might just be summoned indirectly by Wanda's powers, and he might come to investigate what's going on. So he traverses the multiverse. He rides the waves of the multiverse, right? Because now there's spots open in the multiverse, and he segues all the way to our Earth, right, or this Earth, in the MCU, and notices that there's anomalies. There's constant anomalies that are happening on that earth, right? The snaps, things of that nature, and it's leading to the point of um, basically which Silver Surfer has now determined that this is a good earth for Galactus to eat, so he'll go get him, right? Because again, this is the multiverse, so we don't know what's gonna happen in this multiverse, right? So yeah, so I'm a little bit rambling now, but hopefully some of those theories make sense, right? If we do see, again, let me go back to this tweet just in case. This is from Daniel Richmond, which is it's a credible source, right? And when I say he's a credible source, it's not someone who just like down the block says, "Hey, in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda's gonna fight someone from the Foxverse," right? Daniel Richmond is someone who is quite credible, right? He's uh yeah. Again, it's not like just any old person. He works with people who work with people who know people, right? So, anyway, I'm gonna hop out of here, right? Hopefully, let me know what you guys think about just these theories when it comes to characters in the Sonyverse, right? Because to be honest, there could be characters that I didn't mention. You know what I mean? Uh, I'm pretty sure that there's characters that I didn't mention that uh, could pop up. Hopefully, it's not like just like my new characters. Like, hey, I'm gonna actually bring in like I don't know. Like they just end up bringing in characters like, hey, I'm gonna bring in Kitty Pride. Okay, like why? Hey, actually, just kidding. It's gonna be Wanda versus Toad. So I don't really see who she could go against. I don't know. Other than the three characters that I mentioned, I don't see them bringing in Apocalypse in that type of way. Like, don't do that. Let Apocalypse rise on his own in future movies, if that's a route that they want to go to, right? I'm trying to think about villains that the X-Men have faced off against in the Sony movies, right? I'm even thinking about the New Mutants, right? Yeah, I don't really see any of those characters. So when I'm thinking about characters, I'm thinking about characters that may be in relation to Wanda from the comic books, or characters that have such high power that they are worthy of going against Wanda, right? Because of placement and just like power scaling, right? When you think about Doctor Strange, I don't know. Again, some of these are just wild theories. Probably all of them are wild theories, but I'm eager to see which one will come to fruition, or maybe not, right? A lot of people want to see Dormammu, um, and Mephisto. I want to see Dormammu again. I want. I just want to see, because remember, Doctor Strange just basically did a spell. It's kind of hard to believe that Dormammu wasn't able to break out that spell, but he wasn't, right? Um, it basically just looped time when in Doctor Strange 1, which is pretty cool, but it's like, wow, Doctor Strange is pretty powerful, right? He could do that. He could have done that spell. I guess he couldn't have done that spell against Thanos, maybe. I don't know. It just seemed like out of all the characters that they faced, some of the main and powerful characters have not come back yet. Um, and for me, they trumped the power of Thanos in some type of ways, right? Some ways, right? Not all, because of course the Infinity Stones, right? So yeah. Sorry for the lurk. No, it's all good. It's all good. Um, I'm just talking, kind of like podcasting style. So no worries, no worries. Lurk away, my friend. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to think what other characters could go against Wanda if they decide to do that, right? And again, I truly can't think of any characters, right? So let's see. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section after this video. Who do you think could pop up and go against Wanda from the Sonyverse? Uh, yeah. So with that being said, everyone, this is Zen from Zen Multiverse, saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying the content, come back for more. And I'll catch you all later for the next one, right? I stopped saying drop a like because um, I don't want to like poach you guys. Drop a like if you enjoy it, but come back for more if you enjoy the videos.